So what do you guys know about SEO?
Search engine optimization? I don't know.
Okay, that's what it stands for. Good.
Well, the biggest thing I've been doing when I upload my pictures, I'm naming the pictures.
Okay.
Just because however search engine works, I figure it's more likely to come up than a bunch of numbers, you know, to put what the picture is about. That's probably one of the biggest things I've been doing.
Okay, good. Because there's definitely a formula. And so there's two things. There's following a formula and setting your expectation. So why do SEO at all?
To help you get found.
Yes.
To help you get found, yes. So the goal, one of the goals of every real estate agent or every website owner is to get found online and get business from your website. It's exceptionally hard in real estate to get enough leads out of Google to make it a satisfying thing. If you have the expectation that I should get a sufficient amount. So are you picking up what I just said?
Not try to be number one, but get enough for your little niche or something.
Possibly get enough for your niche. The expectation of many over the years it's been, and I've heard this in many conversations I've had with agents, is I should get a website. Or I don't know why I have a website because I don't ever get business from it. That's a good one. I don't know why I have a website. I don't get business from it. And then we look at their website and, well, they haven't touched it in, 3 years or 2 years. And then we say, well, you haven't touched it. And it's like, yeah, I know. Well, that's a breakdown in what they have an expectation, what their expectations are set at, and that they haven't worked their website. So you have search engine optimization is all about presenting your website to Google in ways that you want to get found for. So presenting your website to Google in ways that you want to get found for. So there's, my website is latest listings Chandler. So I want to get found for Chandler. I don't want to get found for, Chandler, Jason, is a city in the Phoenix area.
Okay.
I don't want to get found for business in Flagstaff, which is 3 hours from here. Now, I'll take a referral, but I'm not going to optimize my website that broadly. So when you think about your career, and hell, we may never put people in our cars ever again. That may be where we are as an industry, where we don't drive people around anymore. And I know that we haven't been doing that for a while, but the closer I can stay to home, the better in being able to show people. So if I had enough business around my house, I wouldn't have to drive 10 miles away. That'd be awesome. So that's the point of doing search engine optimization, to where you're doing SEO in a local, even, the keyword tricky phrase is hyper local area. So Jason, to your point, yeah, my websites that are only about Chandler, and I may even get it to be where I'm only doing about a particular zip code, and I'm doing all the neighborhoods in a zip code. It depends on how crunched down you want to get, to where you know, the work you're going to do from an SEO perspective gives you a chance to get found in Google for the type of business you want. That's what it does. At our level, unless you're paying a fair amount of money to build your local SEO, where you're getting links from other websites, you're getting links in directories like, you know, Google Local Business, Bing, Yahoo. You know, you're getting what's called citations from other websites where you're getting listed. You're doing that on a consistent basis, getting update or, you know, updating your website. The bang for your buck for doing SEO, you know, from a paid perspective, you know, there's the ROI is, I want to say, relatively low. So not the, you know, that's the expectation for a real sales site. Okay, more hyper local, better your opportunities for getting found. The broader, the more money you have to spend, in a sense, to get business for your website, to get business from your website. Broader, more money, more local, less money, and more probable. Okay. Any questions about that?
No,
Do you guys want to just stop the meeting now?
Well,
no.
no. Well, you have that Yoast plugin, but I know you don't talk about it or recommend it. So, I mean, I imagine you have your opinion on the bare minimum, what we should be doing, I guess, just in the iPhone tools.
And I'll go through that now. So the Yoast WordPress plugin is a great resource for doing SEO in your website. Because what it will do is it's going to tell you what to improve to make your, you know, any page or post on your website better and better for ranking. So for following the formula, to learn the formula, to learn what really counts, working with this Yoast SEO plugin is a great resource for learning the formula. So, SEO, you got to put in, you know, if you're taking notes, one thing you'll hear anybody who's teaching this topic or discussing this topic, you got to put in unique and interesting content. So, and it's got to be focused at a local level. So if you're like, I'm Chandler, anything I write in my website, the more I can focus it on the Chandler area, the better. So I don't want to put a page or a blog post to my website that's, you know, the 5 steps to buying a home as a generic thing, although useful. I'm not going to compete well with the 5 steps to buying a home if I don't tie it to Chandler and even locally to a zip code.
Okay, so you could use the same article, but throw in the zip code and the name, or make it more personable, I guess you're saying?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
The more you can dial it down into a local area, the better that will come up in the search. Now, it also lowers your population group that it applies to. So you're not going to be getting as much eyeballs looking at that as you might have. However, the eyeballs, the broader scope eyeballs aren't necessarily relevant to you anyway. So the theory is, as you get more hyper local, the lower foot traffic you get, but the quality of that foot traffic goes up. got the correlation there?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes, drill down.
Okay. Yeah, drill down. Okay. So unique content, interesting content, you know, restaurant reviews, talking about developments going in, new developments going in. Let me do a quick search for someone, Ironwood Homes, Scottsdale.
Ironwood Village.
Yeah, I think it's Ironwood Village, actually.
Yeah, I actually used to live there years ago.
Well, there's a new, I thought it was, I'm thinking, I don't know if that's the right one that I was looking for. But like this guy here, Aaron, he's a customer of ours. He's been a customer of ours for about 8 years, 7, 8 years. His whole website's about rental units. But he's on the first page of Google for Ironwood Village in Scottsdale. Or I just did Ironwood Homes and I saw him.
And he's using your website?
He's been using our website for years, yep.
I'll have to look at that. And again, I don't want to bring it up, but I know I'm in San Diego and I'm trying to promote my rentals more. So I'd like to see how he's doing it since
he's not really doing much. He's just had a website for a long, long time.
But I mean, I want to see how the rentals are portrayed on the Arizona website of his compared to mine, though.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, where was that, or which I did? His name was.
Ironwood? It's Aaron Sells AZ.
Aaron Sells. Okay, right there. Aaron Sells AZ. Thank you.
And his website's old, older than Moses. Is old. It's an old website, so he's due for an upgrade. But he hasn't, we haven't done one.
Okay.
Let me do another one. Troon. Actually. So Brian Ford. So I did Troon Luxury Homes Scottsdale. Brian Ford, he's one of our customers. So he's an agent who actually lives in Troon, and he's got 2 of the top 10 out of 777,000 websites of possible. Let me drop out Scottsdale and see what happens if I search for that. So now we're at 1.6 million. And I scroll down. So he's not on that page, but I think this other, this $1 million listing, these guys are our customer. So this is their page on their website for Troon. So they are Troon Luxury Homes. They're 1, 2, 3. They're the 3rd listing on here out of 1.6. So one of the things that they're doing, what they did, this page has been up, I don't know, 3 years now. They have a little bit of content in here. And this page has been online for about 3 years and they rank pretty well for it. So anyway, those are some opportunity, like those are people who are our customer that rank. There's a couple of them in there. And that's, a couple of things I wanted to show you related to that. So if I go back to doing a blog post, the formula that I teach and that I try to, as much as I can, is, I'm gonna look at a map here for a second. So I'm going to write about something that I haven't written about and show you what I would do or what I do. So I am, let me go out one more and see what pops up. Okay, Windmills West. That's Chandler. So I'm going to do something in here about Windmills West as a subdivision. So let's see what pops up here. So I'm going to go back to a blog post. I'm going to say Windmills homes for sale, homes in Wind West and Chandler, sale and recently sold. So this, you know, one of the ways for optimizing your site, and I haven't done this for quite a while, is go to Google AdWords and open up an account. And inside Google AdWords, you can start to generate a keyword list. So you'll get to see the type of traffic that keywords, you know, real estate related keywords are. And when you start dropping in cities and you know, real estate, homes for sale, et cetera, you'll start to, you can develop a list of keywords that are relevant to your local area that you want to promote or, you know, develop on your website and get found for. So if you know, use that list to build content on your website. So you know, let's say you develop a list of 100 keywords. And when I say keywords, it's not one word, it's a group of words. So you're gonna, like, this is a you know, a keyword grouping, a long tail keyword, but when we talk about keywords, this would be a keyword, like a long tail keyword. So if I put this in my website, I have an opportunity over time to get found for this particular keyword grouping. So if I go to my blog and I actually did this, what's today, the 3rd? I'm going to see if this actually is findable in Google, because I just did this blog post yesterday. So let's see if it's in here. So it's not on the home page for that particular term. I'm actually going to see if it's even in there. It may not have gotten indexed yet. So do you guys know this trick? If you
No.
put quotes, if you put quotes around a keyword group, that tells Google to search for that exact set of keywords or that exact set of words in that order.
Okay.
So if I stick this in there, so there's my website. So actually Google ranked this yesterday or today, okay? So I'm happy about that because that tells me Google's looking at my site fairly regularly. So my website came up for that search term in 2 different ways. So I'm actually excited about that, okay? So over time, homes with virtual tours in Chandler should rank on that first page. In my opinion, that should rank, although I'm competing with 14 million websites. So it may take me a few weeks to get pushed up the ranks. And I don't actually know where I'm ranked in this list. I'd have to go search through it. I'm not gonna do that with you guys on the call. But
So I do have a quick question, Dale. On our search, can we set up a search for houses with or homes with virtual tours? Is that
Oh,
part?
yeah, I actually covered that in our training call yesterday. So that's
Yeah, I
something we just,
missed that.
that's cool. We just released it um, Wednesday, Thursday, yesterday morning. We
Mhm.
released that functionality. So
Oh, okay.
very quick, and I'll do it today so you can see what it looks like.
Great. That's a big thing right now, obviously.
It's a huge thing, and we're probably going to go back into development here to deal with the virtual tour features that are coming out with the MLS here in Phoenix. I don't know whether they're I don't know what they are in San Diego and some of our other coverage areas, but I know that we can do a search for homes with virtual tours, and we display virtual tours in a couple of different ways now on our website or on our property details pages. So Windmills West, So I go back to the blog post I'm doing. So I'm going to say Windmills West is a subdivision neighborhood in Chandler, AZ in 85226 in the northeast corner. I'm just putting in a little content that I'm only writing this one sentence of McClintock and Ray Road. Okay. So I could write some more about that. The sort of the optimum number of words that you want in a blog post is at least 300 words. So keep that in mind if you're writing for SEO, you want to make sure you have at least 300 words or more. If you're just writing to update your website to put a blog post in, don't necessarily focus on that kind of content. Also, I'm going to plug in an IDX search here. So I'm going to get credit for those words as well. But I can't count them here because they're not showing up on this page, but they show up when the page is published on my website. See the list below. Okay, so now I'm going to build this search, and you guys, Jason, you know about this feature where you can build a search on a blog post direct.
When you're doing the customer, right? When you're doing a campaign.
Oh, okay. So this is new for you as well. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Sorry.
So I'm not working with a customer right now.
Okay. You're in the blog post field. Okay.
I'm in a blog post directly.
Okay.
Okay. So I can build a search directly here by going into this tool. And I come down to where I see subdivision. And you can, I think you guys have, I don't quite know the San Diego MLS criteria like you do, but you could do this in some type of an area search or some type of a polygon and then call it something, right? You know how people refer to areas that they would want to live in your market. So you're either going to call it something direct and then you draw a polygon, or do you guys have a neighborhood section where you can search for subdivisions or neighborhoods directly?
We do, and like I said, some of my key ones, again, with the coding with your website, it was doing La Mesa, Texas, but I try not to use your neighborhood because I don't think it gives me good data for my area. So
Okay.
but The polygon search you guys fixed on my website, so I'm using that more now.
Okay, and that works well?
Yeah, that's better. So
Okay, good. Now listing status, active, closed, pending. Actually, I'm going to do active, closed, pending because I did recently sold. So I'm doing Windmills West, 90 days, these three, and then I'm going to put in city. Actually, I'm going to put in the zip. And I add that. And then I'm going to create the search. So there's my search. So notice it doesn't add to my word count very much. But as this gets published, you'll see that there's a lot more words in here. Now, there's a couple of things about SEO. I want to put a picture on here. So as many times as much as you can, every post that you do, you want to put a picture in. So I'm going to put this on my homepage of my website, which is the featured category. And then I'm going to put this in the real estate category. And I want to insert a photo. So I add media, and let's just pick a house. So I'm going to pick this one. It's like a nice house. And I'm going to say Windmills West in Chandler, home for sale. Now, you always want to do, some type of a title and an alt text when you put in a photo, okay? The other thing you want to do is pick the alignment. I always do right side alignment. I think it's better for the reader and the user experience. You don't want to link out to anything. And typically your website's going to default to this medium. Now this is a little bit of WordPress training too, but from an SEO perspective, that alt text and title you want to fill in, and you want to fill it in, sorry, I didn't actually cover that. So you want to fill it in with basically a keyword combination that's either exact to what you're putting on the page of the post or something that's relatively close. So I'm doing list of windmills with homes for sale. So that's the alt text. So the alt text is important from a search engine perspective because Google's looking at this photo on behalf of ADA browsers. So American Disabilities Act browsers, ADA browsers, people who have, visually impaired, they still get on their computers and work them. So Google goes behind the scene and they're looking for this alt text, and if they find it, they can describe the picture to the consumer, to the searcher, to the website visitor. So they're looking for this alt text. And if you have it, that's a tick in your scorecard towards being better SEO. So you'll want to put this in, you'll want to put that in there. So let's preview this really quick to see what it says. So I have one property for sale in that Windmills East, or sorry, Windmills West. And that's it. There's nothing else for sale in that area. Now that area is right here, is just this little square. So I'm actually going to go draw a quick polygon around that area just to confirm, because you guys know that agents don't always label things correctly. And I'm suspicious that there's nothing for sale there. So I'm going to go do a quick polygon around that area. And I'm going to drill in.
Sorry, I just did your right alignment with the picture, and it knocked it over to the right, but all the copies on the left now. That's the
I'm
biggest.
not hearing you, Jason.
Oh, am I muted?
So I don't know if that's, can you guys hear me? Can you?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm muted, but
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not hearing. I'm going to drop a chat in. Not hearing you.
Okay.
I can hear Jason.
All of you. Can you hear Kelly? Huh.
Oh, maybe he can't hear me either. Jason, I used to live in San Diego. I lived there for 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Point Loma. I worked mostly Point Loma and La Jolla, Mission Beach.
Oh,
that area.
wow. Yeah, I'm in La Mesa, Spring Valley. We do have a rental in Mission Beach. But yeah, a lot of people moved to Arizona. Yeah.
Hey, can you guys hear me? I don't think you can hear Kelly or I, but can you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oops. I guess maybe I should put that in chat, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Kelly so I can't hear you guys. So let me switch off my, let me go to my sound and built in. Okay, can you guys hear me, or can you guys talk real quick?
Yes. Hello. Hello, hello.
I all of a sudden just lost my audio. Built-in microphone. Uh-oh, test speakers and microphone. Oh, now I hear you.
Yeah, okay. Some video. I don't know.
All right, you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I can, yes.
All right, why am I getting two of this? Okay, that's better.
No, and I was just saying, I hit the picture to right align, went over to the right, and now all the ad copies on the left of the post. But you said you like I think the default is center, right?
Yeah, center puts the photo at the top of the page in the middle, and then your content comes down below.
Uh-huh. Well, and the reason why is I've been playing with this. I go to a live view and it's all smushed, and I keep trying to move it to find a sweet spot to where the ad copy around the picture. Okay, kind of a form, or I don't know. Play it go back and forth a couple times to see it look right.
It's kind of breaking up for me again.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Maybe it's something you could do a screen share or send me what you're, I still didn't quite register what you were saying.
Okay.
What's going on here? Now my mouse, technology is so fun. Oh, there it is. Now we're good. Okay. Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Could you hear everything Jason or yeah, Jason was talking about?
Yes, I can hear Jason too. Yep.
All right. Well, isn't that weird that I couldn't understand Jason? All right. Let me just quickly get back to this little, this quick polygon. All right. Polygons here. All right. Hang on one second.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, all right.
All right, so let me do this. So I have my polygon. Let's get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of my subdivision. Let's save this and preview again. So still just one, or now there's quite a bit more. So I covered this whole section. So I don't think people were really referring to this as Windmills West. So I've covered a bit more. So that I'm actually happier with that result. So I'm going to keep going with my conversation about SEO. But well, actually, what I was showing you is that when I look at this page, so I had like 22 words here, but when I scroll down, now I've got all of these words that now count. So these words count for my overall counting of words. So I'm a lot closer to 300 now. So I can hear you, that's okay. It sounds like other than optimizing the website or Google Mapping, you think the best way to optimize it is through, yes. So Jason asked about, you think the best way to optimize our websites is through good blogs. So yeah, putting in good content and following the formula. So relevant keywords to what your website is focused on. So a more local niche area. The way we've set this up, so when you put a title in here, you're also going to have this permalink. So one of the things that, and I don't do this because I'm not that focused on SEO, but I used to do this all the time with stuff I used to write, is there's words in here, like this in. So I can come in here and delete this. I don't want that in my URL. So when Google looks at ranking your page, they actually work with what's called keyword density. So these words that I'm cutting out of here are called stopper words, but what they are is they actually dilute. You know, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 spaces or 14 characters out of, let's say, 40, I can eliminate, which increases the density of words that I actually want to be found for. Because I don't need to be found for the in, the for, the and. Okay, so I'm improving my density of keywords that really matter with taking out of my URL, taking those out, okay? Now, I don't take them out of up here because a human being's reading this. And it would be weird to go homes, Windmills, West, Chandler, sale, recently sold. That would be weird for a consumer reading that. So you don't do that, okay? There's a question, a zip code in the permalink. I wouldn't do that all the time, Jason.
Okay.
I would put it in, you know, in a sparingly use, because if you put it in all the time, now Google looks at it going, okay, now this is all the time. And it becomes sort of, there's a point where they wouldn't include it anymore because every page is like that.
Right.
Okay. So again, it's kind of a balance of what's natural versus what are you trying to engineer. Okay. All right. So if I come down, sort of this Yoast SEO tool, what if I stick in homes in Chandler for sale. Let's just copy this. And if I put this in here, okay, I can start to use this tool for building my, what's going into Google, or what Google's going to rank me for. Okay. So I don't have, any outbound links going to anything else on this page. So I'm not linking to something, you know, to somebody. I'm not linking to another website. And like, I'm not linking to, I would never want to link to Zillow, but I could link to the government, like chandler.gov, as an authoritative website. Okay. So one of the things that they look at, or one thing they may look at, is they're going to look, do I have any outbound links going off my off this particular page to an authority website? Because when you link, it's like, when you link to something, you're basically giving that other website a footnote. It's kind of thought of as a footnote. So you're referencing an authority website from your page. You're going to get ranked for that. So let me just make sure chandler.gov. I think that's yeah. All right, there it is, chandleraz.gov. So if I come back here and I have that highlighted, I want to put in a link. I just go https chandleraz.gov, drop that on there. So now my link is there, and down below, notice it got rid of that. Okay, so I'm now doing an outbound link. Do I have to? I don't necessarily have to, but in where it's appropriate, sure, I could throw an outbound link to an authority website. And authority websites are things like government, school district, you know, school websites, .edus, you know, Arizona State University linking. There's all kinds of authority websites that are good as a reference if you're going to take the time to write content and put content in. Okay. Internal links. I have what's called breadcrumbs running. So if I go to my website, this is called a breadcrumb. So it says you are here. I'm on my featured category. Okay, it's actually not showing because I'm doing this as a preview, but I'm in the featured category, and then there's my URL, or that's the page title that I'm in. So these are internal links going to other pages on my website. So that's what that internal link is telling me. I'm doing that. Okay, so previously used phrase, I'm not using this keyword in another location, on another page. So this keyword that I dropped in here, I'm not using that combination on another page. So Google only wants to rank, they don't like to rank 2 pages for the same keyword or keyword phrase, because they don't know which one's better. Yes, you should have the keyword app turned on, or you can get it turned on. If you guys can't turn it on, you would have us turn it on, Jason. So keyword in your introduction, in your first paragraph. So the way to get rid of that, so there's keyword. So windmill homes, to search for homes in, so I could put that right here, for example, Control V to search for homes in Windmills West and Chandler, get rid of the for sale. Oh, actually, yes, in for sale, see the list below. So now if I come down here, that's essentially going to fix what I just, so notice it fixed it, okay? So it's telling me that my keyword phrase is long, okay? It's a little longer than I want to be. I don't think that's necessarily true because people naturally search for longer things. So this wouldn't bother me too much, okay? Now, let's come down here and read this a little bit more. I don't have a description. So the description is what shows up in Google. So if I go to Google and I look, this part here that I've highlighted, that's in the plugin is what they're calling a snippet, but in Google, that's called your description. So that's a brief description of what this overall page is about. So this description should describe what that page is about. So if I come down, you know, this page is about homes in Windmills West in Chandler for sale and that, you know, that were recently sold. So I can put in my snippet. So I come in and I edit my snippet. And there's my slug that I fixed. So the slug is the same as this permalink. The slug is actually just this part that I edited. That's this part, okay? So I don't have to change this. Now if I just drop in my content a little bit, homes for sale recently sold. For help in buying homes in 85226. Please contact me. So, you know, so this, why this is red is I don't have it, it's not long enough, okay? So for help in buying homes in 85226 or Windmills West in Chandler. Okay, so now I'm in the green area. So what the description is it's long enough for Google to understand what my page is about. So Google's reading this code. It's behind the scenes. It's not what the consumer really sees. It is in my snippet. If you notice, it's up here, okay? Now, if I go too long, let's just start putting in a bunch of, now notice I'm too long. So basically it's telling me I'm over 160 characters. So this description is 160 characters long, okay? That's the optimum length. Anything above that is too long. And they'll discount whatever's written. And they're only gonna give you, if I go back here, they're only gonna give you basically 3 lines of text anyway. So if you give more, you're gonna get this ... thing going on, okay? So, and I don't know why this one's shorter. I don't actually know why, okay? So my snippet's good, my description's good. So now I have my description. Now they're talking about subheadings and text length. My text length is only 72 words. Well, and here they're talking about 300. I actually know that my content is longer than 72 words because when you view the content in the browser with all the words coming in from the IDX, this is much longer. So I'm okay with this one being red. I'm not worried about it. The keyword in the subheading. So let's tell you what a subheading is. So now I'm just going to show you what a subheading looks like. So in this case, I'm just going to put my keyword in here. So that's my keyword, all right? So I could actually do this. I could copy this And I'm going to replace this. Okay. And now I'm going to highlight this whole thing. And I'm going to go up to where it says paragraph, and I'm going to say heading 3. So basically that turned this thing into a bold black and a little darker text. What this just did, if I go look at the code, you'll notice this H3. So Google notices this H3 in the content as a subheading. So if you think about a newspaper, and the old paper newspapers, you know, you have the folded half of the newspaper. If you open that up, there's always the main headline at the top of the page, which, let me go back to this and let's look at this in a preview again. So let's look at this as a preview. So if you notice, if you think about this as a newspaper, this is my headline. So this is an H1, okay? Now, this is a subheading as an H3. So what we're telling Google is this is an important section. It's just not as important as the H1. And if you think about a newspaper, there's only one main headline on a newspaper, on any particular page. There's the big bold one, if there's a big bold one, and then there's lots of different headings underneath that. So if we go back to my content here, I have this subheading here, and I've now gotten rid of my subheading. Okay. So we've moved we've cleared up that problem with my text, or I've cleared up that in my analysis of my SEO, okay? So the only problem, quote unquote, I've left is my text length. But I'm okay with my text length because I have the IDX search in there that's dropping a bunch more words in, okay? So I'm good. I could cut down my keyword length. So I could come up here and say, well, homes and windmills west in Chandler, I get rid of this. And I could come down here and, sorry, now I'm all green, but my text length, which is red because I'm not showing the dynamic content coming in from the IDX. So in the formula of SEO, I'm now good to go, okay? So the premium is gonna help me add in some other additional things. You know, I haven't written a lot of here, but one of the things that they talk about for more advanced SEO, if you're gonna be doing more writing, is if this is my keyword, how many different combinations of windmills west in Chandler, windmills west Chandler, Arizona, homes in windmills, how many different variations of keywords I have that include that particular grouping? That helps my SEO. But for at this level, I don't know how much I'm really going to spend writing content, and you know, at this small of a content, there's not a lot of opportunity to go into different synonyms and different related keywords. So I think bang for your buck, this is about the max that you would ever need to do. Maybe put in a little bit more about or employer parks, schools that are around this neighborhood, and call it a day if you're doing this style of blog post, okay? So Jason, you're asking stuff about font and font size. That stuff is in our editor here. Pretty much you're doing roughly a font size of 11 to 12 pixels. There you can change color. Clear formatting. It's a good question about changing the font. I don't know that I know how to tell you to do that.
Can you hear me, Dale?
You can.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I want to change it sometimes. And when I go to live view, it's all very big, or it'll change all the font below it. And I said, no, I don't want to change that font. And so I get through with it, but I don't know. I can't control it, or I'm guessing a little bit. So then I just, your font thing you're showing, I usually don't do that because I just leave it in whatever font. Sometimes I'll copy and paste from another document. It'll carry the font over, but then if I erase it, there's no way to like select the font. I just paste it in there. So I just didn't know if that was a button you turned off on us, or if there's something we could have more control of the fonts.
I don't know. That's a good question about the font. And it might be something we just need to ask Jeff about. I know that if you, I know you gotta go. So well, I can address that next week.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll copy something and it'll post it in a table, and I try to break the table out, and I go into your text to do it. And I would like to add tables in the post sometime, and I'm not really sure if that allows us to take a table, just so my blog looks more linear. Like I was going to put some preferred providers, so I was trying, like an Excel sheet, I was trying to make some nice columns and then put data in. And that's one I didn't really see. There's a table feature in the tools, but.
Yeah, I don't think we have a table feature in here because not a lot of people ask for that.
Okay.
Jeff can show you how to do that, or give you a basic format.
Okay.
And then you could, yeah, put tables in. If you copy from like a Word document, or if you copy and paste from a document into the visual editor, it does carry over sometimes the CSS, the styling. So if you go into the text and you start looking at that, you'll learn, or you could learn how to get that styling for different fonts.
Okay.
Okay?
That makes sense.
All right. Well, that covers the SEO that at a very general basic level that I want to talk about today. And I know you got to go. What's that?
I said it was very helpful.
Good. I'm glad that it was helpful for you guys. And thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, and it was helpful because I always see that Yoast, but I don't think you or anyone's explained, if we look at that, how to clean things up. So that's good. And I might even go over past blogs and look at that and see if I can improve them.
Yeah, me too. I didn't really know how to use Yoast. I have it, but I don't know how to use it. So.
Well, it's a very powerful tool. And if you get to where this is now boring because you're now doing it as I've written a ton of blog posts in my career, and I'm not in the game of writing content for search anymore. I used to be. In many senses, this stuff hasn't changed in 20 years, 15 years.
And I think you know all this, but I thank you for the last couple of weeks, because even me using your website, and sounds like Ellie, I mean, it's always good to get this refreshed, so thank you.
Yeah, when you get a chance, Jason, can you call me back? I want to talk to you about the email exchange with us about Sandacor and CRMLS.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, I'm Oh, I'm doing an interview with the lender, she's interviewing 3 other agents, and she wants to talk about the coronavirus and the lending atmosphere. I don't know how long that'll go, but I can call you back later today if you
You have my phone number?
Yes.
Yeah, call me direct on my cell, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Kelly.
Thank you. Okay, bye. Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
Or did you have other questions, Kelly?
No, my only other question is if you can find that one on WordPress, the one that we did the other day, 2 days ago.
Okay,
That.
and we're probably going to do another one this week.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because we're going to keep doing training, just even if it's repetitive, just to give folks a chance to get in and get busy.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep doing them as part of our service that we provide.
Well, good, because now's the perfect time. I mean, we're all, sheltering in place. We might as well blog.
That's right. Are you using the campaign builder?
A little bit. I really haven't even used the site in a while, so I need to get back into it. But I will. I was on that the other day when you went over.
Was that helpful?
Yeah, very much.
Okay, cool. All right. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you, Dale.
All right,
Bye.
Kelly, welcome. Bye-bye.